Welcome to the Noble Network College Fair. My name is Jasmine. I'm going to serve as the facilitator for our session today. Before we get started, I have a few housekeeping announcements. The first announcement, your camera and microphone are off, so our panelists are unable to see or hear you. Second announcement, you can use that Q&A feature in Zoom to type your questions to our presenters at any point throughout our session today. Third announcement. This is just one of a few different sessions that we're offering, so feel free to visit our registration site to sign up for additional sessions. And finally, this presentation is being recorded, and you can access this recording by visiting scribescan.com/NOBLE. Before we get started, I want to go ahead and share a very short video.
Hello, Noble Juniors. My name is Constance Jones, and I'm proud to serve as the Chief Executive Officer of Noble Schools. Welcome to Noble's 13th Annual College Fair. This fair has been held each spring since the 2008-2009 school year, except for 2019-2020 when schools closed for the COVID-19 pandemic. This is the second year that the fair has been held virtually to ensure the safety of our students, college teams and teachers, and our college representative partners. Over 100 colleges are in attendance, including the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign, UIC, Gettysburg College, Harvard University, the College of Wooster, the University of Michigan, and more. We also have a number of HBCUs in attendance, including Fisk University, North Carolina A&T, Jackson State, Central State, and more. At Noble, our vision is to ensure that all students have equitable and positive school experiences that equip them to succeed on a path of their choice, leading to 75% of alumni completing college. This is a unique opportunity to hear directly from college reps and learn why they might be a good fit for you. I encourage you to ask questions, be engaged, and have fun. Have a great day and be noble.
With that said, I want to go ahead and turn it over to our first presenter, McAllister College.
One second, just having a hard time with my share screen today. All right, can everybody see my screen with the presentation?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for your patience, everybody. I'm so excited to be at the Noble Schools Virtual College Fair. My name is Jace Riggin, and I am an Assistant Director of Admission with Macallister College. I use he, they pronouns, and I am your admission counselor at Macallister should you choose to apply. We are a small liberal arts college of about 2,200 students located in the Twin Cities on the St. Paul side of the river. McAllister is about 6 hours away from you in the Chicagoland area by car, as well as about a 7-hour train ride or an hour-and-a-half hop by plane. We are distinctive and known for being one of very few top 30 liberal arts colleges, which are located in a large global metropolitan area. This is an aerial view of campus. It shows you downtown Minneapolis, just up there on the top, about 6 miles away from our campus, and St. Paul, which is located just about 4 miles behind this camera lens. Some distinctive fun facts about our campus: there are 7 bus stops, almost 2 on every corner. We have flown the UN flag from our central flagpole since 1950. You can take bagpipes. Yes, bagpipe lessons for free, and we will provide a bagpipe for you to use on our campus as a student. And lastly, I'd like to highlight that student-led social movements as well as campus protests have been happening on our campus since the early 1960s. Another distinguishing aspect of the McAllister community is the fact that we are incredibly mission-centered. When we survey our students, our mission and our values are the primary reason why they said they chose to apply with and ultimately attend McAllister. Our campus community is centered in our core values of internationalism, multiculturalism, service to society, as well as academic excellence. On our campus, our students hail from 99 different countries, all 50 states and 4 major outlying territories, as well as our students collectively speak over 75 different languages. Today, our students identified domestically about 33% as Black, Indigenous, or as people of color. About 16% of the campus community are international students, and around 18% of our students are first generation, the first in their families ever to attend college. Thinking a little bit about the curriculum, you're going to hear from a lot of liberal arts colleges today. That's what we are, who we are, and what we do. At Mac, we have a distributive core. This means emphasis on choice. You're going to have a lot of choice to fulfill these requirements as you complete your major. I'll be the first to just say what a liberal arts college is. That means that you will have a broad base to your academic experience, no matter your chosen major. No matter your major, you will explore the natural sciences, mathematics, the social sciences, as well as the arts and the humanities. The 2 distinctive aspects of the MAC curriculum relate back to our values of internationalism and multiculturalism. In order to graduate, all students must study away or take a course fulfilling our internationalism requirement and take a course fulfilling our United States identities and differences requirement. Over 106 different student organizations for you to choose from. There is no Greek life at McAllister. There's a strong emphasis on political and social justice organization. In fact, 96% of our students complete some type of service or volunteering engagement during their time at McAllister before graduation. We are an NCAA Division III athletics institution, and we compete within one of the most competitive Division III athletics conferences in the country. We're also a fun place to call home. Lots of activities on campus and off campus. One of my fun facts is Lizzo got her start on the St. Paul side of the river and performed at First Ave, one of the Twin Cities' very famous venues. This is Nicole Matthews, one of our STEM students. I just wanted to give you a look at what the journey of a McAllister student can entail. Lots of organization involvement, identity collective involvement, which are like our affinity groups to support students through their time at McAllister. Some research, as well as employment at the Cleveland Clinic, continuing her job as a researcher after her time at McAllister. 40% of all of our students are STEM-based majors at Mac, and 80% of them complete research during their time here. Some resources to support you: orientation, leadership, opportunities, Bonner Scholars. Lots of Noble students do Bonner Scholars. The Department of Multicultural Life, as well as the Health and Wellness Center and our Counseling Center. We recommend early action with McAllister. It has a November 1 deadline. It is non-binding. It allows for you to take advantage of some of the expanded admission rates of an early decision process. That is my cue to turn it over. We have, lastly, we meet 100% of demonstrated need. There is 0 application fee, and we are test optional. Take care and have a great rest of your fair.
Thank you, Jace. Our next presenter is from Franklin and Marshall College.
Hello, everybody. I hope you can see my, oops, sorry, hit the wrong button, screen. All right. My name is Sarah Berger. I am joining you from Lancaster County, Pennsylvania. You might know us as Amish country. You might not know us at all. We are located in downtown Lancaster City. We are a small liberal arts institution of about 2,300 students. We have about an average class size of 17 students, which is great. And additionally, we have a 9-to-1 student to faculty ratio. So we really pride ourselves on those small classrooms and a discussion-based curriculum. We offer 62 fields of study ranging from anywhere, really anything from STEM to creative writing to arts, to pre-med and pre-law, which are some of our bigger programs. And since we're an undergraduate only institution, we do have a lot of opportunities for postgraduate development and preparing you for your next step on campus. So we are a global student body. For being only 2,300 students, we do have about, this says 17%, but we're actually about 35% international students, which is really unique to such a small campus. We represent over 46 countries and 42 states. Of our, that 23% are first generation and 25% of our students are students of color. So a little bit about where we're located. We are in Lancaster City. So we're a small but booming community of about 70,000 people. We are the 11th largest city in Pennsylvania. Some really nice things for our students who are pictured here walking around downtown. We're walkable to public transportation, over 100 eateries, very unique, different cuisines. And we also have a 3-block stretch of artists called Gallery Row. Another really nice thing about downtown Lancaster is that a lot of our alumni still live in the area. They have businesses, they own different companies, things like that. So there's a lot of networking and internship opportunities in our city, which is great. You don't have to go too far for those. As I mentioned before, we do a lot of postgraduate development while you are on our campus. So this is our Office of Student and Postgraduate Development, or OSPGAD. So at F&M, we affectionately love our acronyms. We're Franklin and Marshall, but you rarely ever hear anyone say that. We're F&M. And OSPGAD is our Office of Student Postgraduate Development. They will work with you for all 4 years, getting you prepared for whatever journey may come after your 4 years here at F&M. So whether that's a graduate program, postgraduate, careers, things like that, they really get you on the right track, and over 85% of our student body will utilize their resources during their time here. So our college houses, there are on-campus living facilities. There are 5 of them: Roncheck, Brooks, Ware, Weiss, and Rochelle. So each student house is governed within its own house by the students. So that's really cool, just for they have their own leadership structures, budgets, they hold their own social events and calendars. In this image here, if you knew who everybody was, you would see that our president is at this event with our students, as well as some of the academic deans and dons. So a really inclusive environment, and you're sorted into those houses based on your first year connections course. So it doesn't have to do with major, doesn't have to do with anything really besides your underlying interests in what gets you going to college in the first place. And that just gives you a really unique feel to each house. They all compete with each other. It's a lot of fun. So just some quick fast facts about admission. We do accept both Common App and Coalition. We've been SAT, ACT test optional for over 30 years. We have an early decision option for people who would like a binding agreement upon acceptance, but we also do have regular decision. We do recommend interviews. We do those virtually with our representatives. Helps us to really get to know you as a student and not just an application that comes through on our computer. Also, we have on-campus tours, off-campus, like virtual tours. So we can really connect you with any information you would like to learn more about of our school. So thank you. And if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Thank you, Sarah. Our next presenter is from the College of Wooster.
All right, well, thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. I'm gonna start sharing my screen. All right, well, welcome everyone. Thanks for having me. Glad to be here talking to the Noble Network, to Noble students. I'm here representing the College of Wooster in Wooster, Ohio. Just to kind of give you a reference of where we are, an hour south of Cleveland. So not too far from the land, the home of LeBron James. And yeah, glad to be here. Now, my name is Alex Dominguez, Senior Assistant Director of Undergraduate Admissions, as well as the Coordinator of Multicultural Recruitment. Not only do I work with all students from Noble schools, but I also work with all students from Chicago and Illinois as a whole. So even if you didn't end up in a Noble school next year, I most likely will still be your counselor. So I'll be more than happy to connect with you and work with you throughout your college search process. All right, so right into it. These are some of the quick facts about Wooster. We have about 2,000 undergraduate students, small private liberal arts college. And the next bullet points really kind of showcase who we are as an institution. When you think of rural Northeast Ohio, you don't think of it being very diverse and having a lot of great opportunities, but that's actually really far from the truth. About 70% of our domestic students are from out of state. We are represented by about 46 different states on campus. We also have about a 17% international population as well. So we're represented by 70 different countries, just about, which makes us the most internationalized campus in the state of Ohio, and I believe 16th or 17th in the nation when it comes to liberal arts colleges. So we really enjoy having people from a wide variety of places, having that geographical diversity. And we also have pretty great domestic diversity as well, ethnic diversity, with about a quarter of our students being students of color. Obviously, that's not where we want it to be, and we still are trying to make strides on how we can continue to grow and become an ever more diversified campus. But this is where we're currently at, and a place that we really kind of see ourselves growing in the future. Now I'm going to skip the 240 acres bullet point, because if you're like me, can't really visualize it, but I do have a campus map that I want to show you right after this. But I do want to talk a little bit about the next two slides, because 10 to 1 student to faculty ratio kind of ties into our small student body, and then having 0 teaching assistants goes into that as well, because we want students to have a personalized education. We want students to connect with the professors. And I think that a student to faculty ratio like that, having professors that are not teaching assistants, that are experts in their field, give students a great educational experience and the ability to really grow and develop as students. All right, so this is a map of our campus. As you can see, there's a lot of great green spaces. We actually have a running joke on campus that there are more trees than students on campus. But it's a great place for students to kind of just socialize, to get together. It's really well organized as well. And our athletic fields and our beautiful golf course actually take up 100 acres of our total acreage. So all in all, it's very walkable, very accessible for students, and it's really well organized and situated. So we want students to feel at home. We want students to really enjoy where they're at. And this just gives students a visual representation of where we're at. All right, now if you talk to faculty, staff, alumni, you're not going to only hear about their love for the Wooster traditions and Wooster campus, but also the memories that they kind of built within the city environment. And we're kind of really fortunate to have a city that only has 30,000 residents, which I think is the cutoff for a place to be considered a city. But with that being said, there are a ton of amenities, opportunities that most large cities provide, that Wooster still provides while being a small, close-knit community as well. And I did mention that we're about an hour south of Cleveland. We're also about 40 minutes from Akron, about an hour and a half from the state capital of Columbus. And for those of you that wanted to explore a little bit further, about 2 hours from Pittsburgh as well. So very centrally located. But as far as Wooster is concerned, I think our students really love and enjoy the fact that they can take advantage of just all the great opportunities and offerings. We do have a north end of campus that's only about a 10-minute drive for students that wanted to have some of the national retailers Panera, Walmart, Chipotle, things like that. But our downtown is a beautiful location, a lot of local establishments, individually owned coffee shops, and that's about a 5 to 10 minute walk from campus. So I think all of that is just offers a nice blend of opportunities for students that not a lot of small schools can really provide. Worcester is also a county seat and hub for a lot of businesses in the area, so students can easily find service experiences, internship opportunities, whether that be at the local school district. There's also two really renowned hospitals within a couple of blocks from campus. So yeah, just a lot of opportunities for social experiences and professional development experiences. Just a quick snapshot of what that downtown area looks like. Like I said, individually owned and locally owned businesses. Now, if there's something that I did want you all to kind of leave with during this presentation, it's really hard to make yourself distinguishable when it comes to a college and what you have to offer, especially at the liberal arts level. But the College of Worcester, I think, does a really strong job at doing these three things. One, we are America's premier college for mentored undergraduate research. We are not only a global campus, but a thriving global campus. You saw the statistics, but we celebrate diversity, we celebrate camaraderie, and we have that experience for students to kind of be in a place where they're really enjoying each other. And then I already talked about the local opportunities and what the city of Worcester provides for students. Okay, am I coming up on time? How am I doing?
Yes, Alex.
Okay, well, we do have more than 90 fields of study to choose from. Interest in majors, archaeology, environmental geoscience, neuroscience. I would love to talk a little bit more about who we are and what we have to offer, but I think that is my time.
Thank you, Alex. Our next presenter is from Gettysburg College.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for being with us today. And to all my colleagues, it is good to see you as well. I am Daryl Jones from Gettysburg College, and I'm the Senior Associate Director of Admissions, Coordinator for Multicultural Admission, Intercollegiate Athletics Liaison, and I'm also a track and field coach. So here's what I want you to understand, and I'm going to move this bar over here. First, some guarantees. So Gettysburg College is a college of liberal arts and sciences, like many of these other places. We are 2,600 students, but here are guarantees. If you want to see Gettysburg College, you don't have to apply to be a part of a fly-in. If you're admitted, I just do it, and I don't have to ask permission. Another guarantee. If you'd like to study abroad, since more than 60% of our students do it at least a semester, I guarantee you that you will pay nothing for airfare because we cover that for everyone. I guarantee you that we make sure that all your credits transfer. And I guarantee you that if there is an emergency of some sort, which seems to happen, you don't have to worry about getting back home either. So anybody can study abroad. Here is another guarantee. If you are a STEM student and you want to do research, we guarantee you that you will be paid to do it. So just a little background about me. I did live in Evanston the past about 11 years and now live in suburban DC. So I commute to campus every day. That tells you how close we are to the DC metro area. We use these nearby cities, Baltimore, Washington, Philadelphia, New York, for educational, for cultural, and all sorts of other purposes. But this is what I know. College is expensive. And even if we make sure you have every penny you need, over the summer, you're going to need money. So wouldn't it be cool if you were doing that research and we actually paid you to do that research? So we pay for your housing and pay you on top of that through the Cross-Disciplinary Science Institute. Lots of people have talked about, oops, I've had a technical difficulty, sorry about that. Lots of people have talked about this whole idea of diversity. I'm going to talk to you about something that matters to me, belonging, because diversity just means difference. Equity just means we care about equality. Inclusion means we are trying to include you, but our sole focus at Gettysburg is about you belonging so that you take advantage of all these great opportunities that my colleagues and I are talking about. So I wanted to stop sharing for a moment because I want you to understand that all these statistics mean nothing if you don't feel like you belong. And because at Gettysburg you will feel like you belong, we never have to worry about you wondering if you're going to be a part of these great statistics when it comes to career advancement or research or study abroad, or should there be an emergency at home, you don't borrow the money to get back home. We just give it to you. It's not a loan. I mention all that because this whole idea of getting into college certainly is going to be part of your journey, but here's what I know. My colleagues and I, so I'm speaking for all of us, treat you fairly. We understand what you've been through the past couple of years. We know Noble Street schools. I personally visit all of them, and I'm looking forward to the day when we can visit you again in person. We want to interview you because we want to hear your story, and then we want you to see our beautiful campus. So here's where I'm going to stop. My colleagues and I are taking time out of our schedules because you matter to us. We're taking the time to show us opportunities, show our opportunities to you because we think you are the type that will succeed. But the only way to make it work is this. There is no way that any of my colleagues could ever truly articulate the value of their institutions in just 6 minutes. So you're going to take the time after this to be in touch with all the people on this panel. You're going to learn from them, and you're going to start a dialogue so that you learn more. And that's, again, all colleges and universities. So do I want you to look at Gettysburg College? Absolutely. But I know all of these colleges and universities, and I know people at them, and I know that Noble Street students thrive. So thank you for being with us. I did get a little fired up there, but I get fired up because I know the faces and the names at the other end. And I truly enjoyed my time with you today. Thank you all.
Thank you, Daryl. Our next presenter is from St. Olaf College.
Hello, everyone. Sorry, I'm having technical difficulties getting to share my screen in a second. Here we go. All right, bear with me. Wonderful. Hi, everyone. Once again, my name is Seda Bagidan. I use she, her pronouns. I am from St. Olaf College. So I graduated from there last year myself. I studied political science, international relations, and race and ethnic studies. I am originally from Armenia. So I was one of the international students at St. Olaf. To tell you about us, we are about 6 hours drive away from you. We are about 1.5 hours flight away from you, and you can also take the train ride for 7 hours. We are a liberal arts institution of 3,000 students located in Northfield, Minnesota. It's also 45 minutes away from St. Paul and Minneapolis, which are the biggest cities in Minnesota. Another important aspect of St. Olaf would be, of course, the academics. For me, I went to an international boarding school where we only had 200 students in my school. So the community aspect was very important for me. I wanted to go to a place where my professors would know me by my name, my peers would know me by my name, and vice versa. So for me, the small learning, community-based learning environment was very important. So we have 23 average class size in the classroom. We have 12:1 faculty to students ratio, which is low, and professors have the actual capacity to meet us and know who we are, what we stand for, what our passions are. I have made and met great mentors that some of them were my professors, some of them were staff, some of them are lifelong friendships that I have made at St. Olaf. So 85 plus majors, programs, and concentrations. Almost half of our student population double majors, so I would be possible. You don't have to major in like closed fields. It's not surprising when you hear someone majoring in music and chemistry or economics and theater. So you can pick and choose, and you don't have to declare your major until second year. No pressure. One thing that made St. Olaf to stand out for me when I was making my decisions was their study abroad programs. And although I told you I'm from Armenia and studying St. Olaf was already studying abroad, but I wanted to go abroad while I was abroad. And I'm glad I went to two programs. Almost 75% of our students study abroad at least once. I did this amazing program. It's called Global Semester. We went to 6 different countries in one semester: France, Egypt, Tanzania, India, China, and Argentina. This is an all-inclusive program, so I paid absolutely nothing extra to do this program. They paid for my flights, visas, accommodation, hotels, all the tours we did in the country, and the 4 courses we were taking. The style of study abroad program are different. You can go for a month, you can go for a year, you can go for a semester. It completely is up to you. Some of them are major related, like biology in Peru or math in Budapest, but mine was interdisciplinary. So we had people from all kinds of different majors and backgrounds. Another important aspect about St. Olaf is the arts, theater, dance, and music. 1/3 of our students do music, and 1/3 of that 1/3 are music majors. So if that's important for you, I would highly recommend you to check us out. There are lots of really cool opportunities at St. Olaf regarding that. My next slide is about the life on campus. This is a key. Yes, academics is important, but the environment that you will be spending your time, I feel like for me was more important, because I wanted to be supported. I wanted to the environment to be a place where I would feel that I belong there, and I wanted to be active and do different kinds of things. We have 200 plus clubs and organizations on campus. They vary from, they can be academic, they can be multicultural, they can be LGBTQI plus, service, and more. Completely up to you which one you want to join. We are highly residential, which means most of our students live on campus all 4 years. 95% will do, and we have dorms, we have houses. You can pick and choose where you want to live. As a freshman, you will be living with other first-year students, but starting your second year, you can choose your roommate, you can choose your dorm where you want to live. Other important aspects. So often I get asked, like, what's the student life like? Like, what happens during the weekends, during the weekday? It's very vibrant. Like, although we are in a smaller town, the amount of times you go out to the downtown area or to the Twin Cities, it's not actually as much as I thought I would go, because the life is so robust. And in Armenian, I would say it's boiling. There's always something happening. There's always something you will be missing out from, either catching up with a friend, or I did lots of dancing during my time there. I was highly involved in Southeast Asian organization, international students organization, dance, perform, share my culture. But this is my story, and there are so many different stories at St. Olaf. Students will, like, someone can be really into sports, and that's the core of their experience. I was really into dance and spending a lot of time with multicultural and international students. Someone else is really into music, someone else is really into theater. You can choose how you want to spend your time, but the important thing is that there are lots of support systems to catch you if you tip over, if you're about to fall, like academic support, center for advising and academic support, tutoring, supplemental instructions. Students with learning disabilities will get their extra hours during their exams, or we have recorded lectures, lots of support in that direction. I know I have 30 seconds. I want to mention, I talked about study abroad. We are test optional. You don't have to worry about that. There is no fee to apply. The deadlines are November 1st for early action. We do recommend that. However, up to you. We have November 1, early decision 1, early action, January 15, 1, early decision 2, and regular decision. I will stop there. Please reach out. If any questions come up, I would love to chat and learn more about you and tell more about St. Olaf. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next presenter is from Lycoming College.
Hello, everybody. My name is Maverick Stanger. I am an admissions counselor here at Lycoming College. I particularly do work with the Illinois territory, so I would be your admissions counselor if you decide that you want to have more interest in Lycoming. So let me see if I can get to my next slide. There we go. So at Lycoming, it is in Williamsport, Pennsylvania, which is in the middle of PA. So with that, we have 1,200 students. So a fairly small campus. About 900 of them are residential. We have students from all over the country, from many different states, from many different countries. They're coming from everywhere. So we have a diversity rate of about 33%. We actually do have a plethora of Noble kids, as we have a great partnership with those schools. I just watched a tour guide walk past my office from the Chicago Bulls Noble School. So we have lots of Noble kids here already. We are nationally ranked as one of the best 387 colleges by the Princeton Review. So we have a lot of different majors, everything from astrophysics, biochemistry, history, education, all the different things that you want to study. With that, we call them interdisciplinary programs. So you can get into different things, learning about things, and these actually leads directly to our enhanced academic experiences, which 100% of our students complete. So an enhanced academic experience is anything to enhance your time at Lycoming College. That may be studying abroad in London or Bath or Australia. That may be going on a May term trip, which is just a travel trip over the month of May. We actually just had one that went to the Bahamas, where they took a class for an entire month. One thing I do want to point out, during this time, my colleague Chris is going to be dropping links in the chat. So you can hop on those, look up more stuff. That just kind of saves you the searching process. Other things can be research. So collaborating with a faculty member, collaborating with someone on campus to do different research. And these research opportunities are only for Lycoming College students. So you won't be competing with any graduate assistants or anything like that. This is 100% for Lyco students. One of the cool and most unique programs is our Clean Water Institute, where they do research on the hellbender, which is North America's largest salamander. So you get to go out in the streams and looking for these giant 3-foot amphibians that live under rocks. So that's a really cool opportunity for our students. Other types of enhanced academic experiences could be a minor or getting your teacher cert. That is what my enhanced academic experience was. And then for student life, we have a whole bunch of different student organizations on campus, from your typical ones like Humanity to UNICEF to Black Student Union, Gender Straight Alliance. And then we also have some newer ones. One actually just created by a Noble student was our gospel choir, and they're having their first performance this Saturday. One of our big orgs is Outdoor Leadership and Education. And again, that link's going to be in the chat. They go on over 100 trips a year. And that can be anything from mountain biking to hiking to camping, rock climbing, skiing, snowboarding when there's snow. Those trips are all 100% free. So if you want to kind of get engaged in the outdoors and learn leadership through the outdoors, that is a great program for you. Then we also just have clubs on campus that go everywhere from DC to New York, Philadelphia. We just had a group go see a Broadway play. Again, these trips are free. You do not have to pay anything other than say, hey, I want to go on this trip. You put down payment, and then you get that $20 back when you show up on the bus. We also pride ourselves on our civil engagement. Being in Williamsport, there is a bunch of nonprofits to work with. So we connect with those organizations, and our students get to help kind of build up Williamsport, make it into a better area for that community to really kind of enhance with their experience and also the college's experience. One big thing I want to point out is when you go to college, and this is for any college you might decide to go to, you're going to either walk out with just a degree, and that's perfectly fine, or you can walk out with a degree plus leadership experience, plus connections, plus networking. So definitely get involved in something. May it be a club, may it be outdoor, may it be civil engagement, or may it be, our last point, athletics. For me, I was an athlete on campus. So I ran cross country, but we do have 19 Division III athletic teams. 2 new ones we have are going to be baseball and field hockey. So that is my time with you. I will have my contact information in the chat below, so feel free to reach out.
Thank you, Mav. So that concludes the presentation portion of our session today. We're now going to transition to the Q&A. I want to encourage all of our presenters to return. Feel free to turn on your camera, and I will pose a question to the group. Our presenters will respond to the question in the order in which they presented. So we will start with Macalester College first. The question is, what is one myth you'd like to debunk about the college admissions process?
I don't have to share a screen this time, so there's no delay. I am going to take on the financial aid piece because that is the scariest part of going to college, and I empathize with it and I feel it. Many of us on this call meet 100% of demonstrated need, and many of us offer robust need-based financial aid as well as merit scholarships. And so the first myth I just want to dispel is we are going to work so hard to ensure that college is affordable for you, your guardians, and your family, no matter your circumstances. Many of us have that 100 demonstrated need model. This means we will assess your family financial situation or your situation, depending upon how it may be. Using the data points, CSS profile, tax documents, FAFSA, some boring stuff will help you, don't worry. We assess how much assistance you truly need to make college affordable. This means we'll use our funds, the college's funds, as well as state and federal grants, and sometimes a student loan to make college affordable. I'm sorry, I keep saying McAllister. I'm wired to do that, but we're all going to do this on this call. And so I just want to dispel this right away, is that we're going to have gotcha moments or the cost is hidden somewhere. The colleges on this call are going to be transparent with you. Noble is really great about ensuring that you're not going to have tricks or gimmicks when you're doing your college search, and we're all here to help you. I know I might have took up too much time, but I've been seeing the questions, friends, and I just wanted to dive in there. So.
I would say the myth I'd like to debunk is that you need to get all A's or you need a certain SAT score to be able to get into your college of choice. I think that all of these schools here, we take a really holistic approach to reading applications, and we really want to see who you are as a student, what you're involved in outside of the classroom. Of course, you know, we're a school, we have to look at what you've done academically, but we want to see really who you are as a person too. I think a great way to showcase that is through your essay. It doesn't have to be a basic 5-paragraph essay. Really, we just want to see something that has transformed either your learning experience or your life as a student, and what you have done with the resources that are available to you and accessible to you in your time as a high school student.
Okay, and I think I'm going to take a different approach to answer this question. And I think I want to, and speaking as a student from very similar background to a lot of the students that I've worked with from Noble schools, one myth is that there's just one door and then one opportunity for you. I think that everyone here can attest that, you know, there's no right or wrong way to go about your college education. So whether that is going to a community college first, or whether that is, you know, going through a process where you might have to be secondarily reviewed for admission, or you might have to submit a supplemental writing piece or a secondary transcript, whatever it may be. There's no singular way to do things the correct way. And there's always going to be resources and people like myself here to kind of help you along the way and navigate that process with you. So if you feel like you're getting kind of stuck, or you feel like you might have reached a certain hurdle, don't feel like that's like the door is shut and then there's no more opportunity further than that. I know a lot of students, myself included, when I went through the college search process, that when I ran into a complication, when I ran into an issue, felt like I was kind of stuck along the way. But oftentimes that's not the case. There's another door to be open. There's another conversation to be had, and don't be afraid to have that conversation and that connection.
I'm going to explode 2 myths in 1 minute. The first is these phones can be used to reach us. A lot of people think, oh, admissions people, they're hands off. Don't call them. Yeah, there's an app in your cell phone called Calling People. You can use it to contact us. It's part of the reason we're here. We actually like teenagers. The other is this. It's all about the ACT or SAT. No, it isn't. You heard my friend from Franklin and Marshall say it. They've been test optional, well, since way before you were born. We've been test optional since a little bit before you were born. And lots of other places are temporarily or newly test optional. But even if they're not, it's about what you do, how you do it, and as one of my colleagues already mentioned, how you manage your circumstances. So we care about you, and you can reach us.
I was smiling. It's my turn to speak. I want to echo what Daryl said about reaching out to us. So I am a recent grad, and before applying, I looked at admissions officers as people who will assess me, like people who will be making the decisions. Yes, to some part it's true, but I think now that I work in this position and I see my colleagues working as well, I think our main goal is to support you. One of my senior colleagues would said that their position was called more counselors, like admissions counselors of colleges years ago. So it's really the point of helping you to get there, be it like through the info session, through a chat conversation. So I want to echo that. So really reach out to us. We really want to help you throughout the whole process. And a second, I think asking for a recommendation letter, I want to emphasize that you don't have to ask for a rec letter from a course that you got an A from. I think most importantly, we want to see how you are in the classroom. So even if you got a B or a C, but you have worked, or even if you ended up with a C, but the teacher knows you, knows your struggle, your circumstances, how hard you have worked or you are willing to work, that can shine better light to your application than picking the teacher that you got an A from. I hope this is helpful.
So I absolutely second everything of my colleagues have said before me. But the myth I want to bust is on the essay part of the Common App. So with that, I will try to hurry up because I see we are running out of time here quickly. But with the Common App, as most of us do accept the Common App, if not all of us, is the essay portion. Tell us about yourself. Say, you can submit the best essay, but if your essay is on like Alexander Hamilton, that's great, but that's not going to help us get to know you. That's going to help us get to know Alexander Hamilton. We want to get to know about you. Tell us about a challenge you overcome or a fun story about how you became who you are. Tell us about you. That's going to be one of the best things for you getting to college is writing those essays, getting a good essay about yourself.
Thank you. So that concludes our virtual college fair for today, but I do have a few closing announcements. As you exit from this Zoom session, a survey will appear. It's approximately 5 questions or so, but please complete the survey. It's extremely helpful as we aim to improve our virtual college fair offerings in the future. I also want to remind you to visit our registration site to sign up for additional sessions. And finally, you can access this recording by visiting scribescan.com/NOBLE. I want to thank all of our amazing presenters for joining me, but also thank you to all of our attendees. I hope everyone has a great day. Thank you.